Sup everyone, Verse here, back at it with my bullshit for Act 2 Part 1. Draconic resilience shortens our trip by half. Why the rush anyway? We've already come along, isn't that enough? My colleague, Lord Ospin, his life is at stake. Because Ruby is not on the throne? Precisely. The throne has its own magic, and does not suffer usurpers. Anyone not in the Rose bloodline who dares to use the throne's power is drained of the aura. Okay, so I really hope I didn't talk about it in the last video. If I did, feel free to skip. I'm sorry, I've been playing this game with a friend too, without recording, so maybe I've also talked to them about it and not here. But I really appreciate how, like, it's a really common trope to have the long lost hair put back on the throne, like in the Lion King and shit. But no one ever addresses the fact that someone who hasn't been raised to be a ruler would not have any idea what to do. And it wouldn't actually help shit. And in this game they give you an actual good reason as to why it absolutely must be Ruby on the throne. And it's not just, oh yeah, because we want to perpetuate the monarchy. No, shit, there's an actual reason to that. And that's pretty cool. This is eventually fatal. You need not worry about yourself, Lady Ruby. It will not harm you. Glinda is smiling. However, with us being so occupied, we've been unable to deal with certain concerns. Like asking for assistance from the other planes, for one. Without allies, it is unlikely that we would come away as the victors in any upcoming conflicts. However, to open a connection to another universe is no small feat. The throne is needed, but Ospin struggles enough morally to sit upon it. There is also unrest within the city because of the faunus. I see. Is there precise if there are faunus in the desert? I mean, I guess there must be. I don't know what the desert people stance on faunus. It would be very interesting to write. In peacetime, such unrest will usually die down by itself. But with the Graham acting as aggressively as they are, the citizens are tense. We cannot afford such instability, but we have been unable to stop it. To take care of either matter, we must be strong. At the very least, we must appear to be strong. Right now, Ospin cannot do either. A whole kingdom depending on me. So Ruby gets to deal with all this, huh? She will not be without help. Ospin and I will assist you, Lady Rose, so you needn't worry too much. The first night away from the village, I spent a lot more time staring at the sky than getting any sleep. I had set up a schedule, one away quite the other two atoms to rest, but every time I close my eyes I feel the nightmares begin to build again. They've been with me for years. I know the warning signs by heart. Everything about my body lets me know that there will be no peace tonight. Though lately the nightmares have been settling down, the attack on the village must be reckoned with them. Fuck! The attack. I'm just gonna skip that, okay? I'm sorry. Can't sleep? I'm not really surprised she's awake. We're used to sharing the tent. Being out and exposed like this, it's annoying. Not really, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I hear a rustle as she drives her things closer to mine. Nah, it's fine. Who needs sleeps anyway? Sleep is for the weak, and the weekdays young. Laughing under my breath, I duck my head down. The air is cold, and I shiver even with the heat of our campfire nearby. I wish I could sleep. But my head, Nightmares again? Yeah, I thought I was over them. Actually, as I was playing with another friend, I mentioned earlier, they brought up the very good point of, I wonder if nightmares appear as much in real life as they do in fiction. I mean, here Ruby has a really good reason to have nightmares, it's explained later, but that's a really good question, I don't know. Me too. Must be tough. Not wanting to agree, I just shrug and avert my gaze. We're both quiet for a long time, listening carefully for any sign of a threat. But the night is peaceful, and we're not in grim territory. The only demons here are the ones we brought along with us. God, fuck, this line is so good, my god, dude. I don't even know who you are, do I? Yang? You, this long-lost princess. When Dad told me the truth about you, where you came from, I thought it was a joke. Even if you had to keep it secret. Even when you and I talk about it, it didn't feel real. I was too scared to believe it. I didn't want to. I'm sorry, Yang. I don't want to go back there. I want to stay in the desert. You know I do. But the Grimm, they've never acted like this before. They got past the defenses you set up around the camp, and they killed so many of our people. I know, I'm not arguing with you here. I'm just saying, I was always scared that one day you'd leave again, just as quick and quiet as you arrived. Now that it's happened, I'm just relieved I was able to go with you. I'm glad too. I don't think I can do this alone. You won't, Ruby. I mean, Princess Ruby? I mean, is that even your name? Who are you really? Who are you really? That is not at all how the song goes. I'm Ruby Rose, that was never a lie. My full name is a bit strange, but Uncle Crow nicknamed me Ruby and it stuck. I'm so used to it now, I think of it as my real name. And I wouldn't be the first monarch to rule by nickname, so really, you can keep calling it that. I'd actually prefer it, I hate my real name. Mood? That is a trans mood, everyone. And Rose? There are millions of Rose in Vale, Yang. So doesn't even go into some of the other offshoots of the royal lineage. There are the Roses, the Black Roses, the Stone Roses, the Rose Oaks, the Roselines, the Rose Thorns, the Snowfire, the Aussie Rose, the Rosewells, the Rosewood. Alright, I get it, there are a lot of roses. Tons. I had to memorize them all when I was still living in the castle. My poor child. When I was a kid, my dad once gave me a list of, verbs in English that don't change, whether it's past or not, like, that don't go the usual way when you conjugate them. And I had to memorize them all, and it was boring as fuck. So I didn't do it. Guess it stuck. It's just a common surname, especially among nobles, or people who hail from that part of the plane. I adopted the only Ruby Rose in the land. But there's only one true Rose hair, and that's you. Yeah, apparently. It's kind of nice to be able to talk about this stuff. Well, let me hear if you need to vent. Thanks. And Yang, yeah? Please, when we get to Vale, don't let this Ozpin girl call me by my real name. I'm Ruby. You're Ruby. Even as a queen or a princess, I won't want that to change. I had to leave the rest of my long life behind, and I don't want to lose that too. I don't want to lose my name. You won't, I promise. But so it doesn't catch me by surprise, what is your, princess name? Leaning closer, I put my hand on her shoulder and I whisper in her ear. She starts laughing. Yeah, no, that's not funny. Oh my god, that is the dorkiest. Yang! How do you even spell that? Covering my face, I turn away from her. You're the worst. I knew I shouldn't have told you. Don't worry, little Rose. I'll keep your name safe for you. That mollifies me somewhat, but I'm still peeved for a while that she'd laughed at me. Sometime in the middle of the night, I fall asleep next to her, head resting on her shoulder. She takes both of our shifts. We rise early in the morning and travel well into the night, stopping only for necessities and the midday sun. Your Grace, are you ready to leave yet? Yang, stop calling me that. Yes, the princess should be properly addressed as Your Highness, and after coronation, you should refer to her as Your Majesty. Well, in that case, Your Highness, don't even... I swear, I am like you, the court jester. Gradually, his long shifts, from sand and sparse desert scrub to more and more green, rolling hills of grass and trees. It rains, much harder and longer than what Yang and I are used to. I mean, you live in the fucking desert. But we still rise for it. I'm soaking. My cheeks are getting numb, and I don't mean the ones people kiss. Not normally, anyway. It is almost noon when we arrive at Beacon, the sun high overhead. The light glints off the surface of the lake. There are ships, some anchored in the harbor, and others heading eastwards towards the river's mouth. Amber and Silica's claws scrape and clatter as we cross the bridge. There's more than enough space for us to ride abreast. Halfway across the bridge, leading into the beacon, Glinda raises one hand, not slowing a bit. She sends something flying into the air. When the object reaches its peak, she opens her fist and explodes, a loud rumble booming out for any of the area to hear. Why'd you do that? To inform the guards I've returned. As I said, haste is important. He passes the first of the city's wall easily enough. The guards posted wave at us through with hardly a glance. The castle gates are another story, still closed despite Glinda's signal. It takes a few shouts to rouse the two guards that stumble out. One of them is sleepily disheveled, his hair uncombed and sticking up at all angles. At least he has his spear and his mail. The other has only his clothes, a helmet askew on his head, and a now-dripping mug. Probably ale, if the smell coming off them boss is anything to go by. It takes them a few tries, but eventually they open the gate and we enter the castle's courtyard. You know, you've got good walls and all, but shouldn't you have more than 2 drunk guards for a gate this important? Torchwick's man again. I had to talk to him. Glinda, like 90% of Glinda's face is just a variation of I'm done with all this shit. God. Fucking... what's the name of the Ruby Quest artist again? The one who drew Glinda, I believe. Rontra? Well, Rontra, if you would watch this, you did a good job with Glinda. Good shit, OP. Another matter for another time. Now, Aspin is waiting. As we approach the throne room, I feel an oppressive stillness in the air itself. Terrible yet familiar. It sets me on edge. My palms begin to sweat the way they do on nights when I can't sleep for fear of what nightmares are awaiting for me. Glinda notices too. She picks up the pace, her heels clicking harder on the stone floor as she throws open the doors to the throne room. Fucking, I hate the word throne, okay? Oh no. A strange man is sitting on the rose throne, the telltale blaze of his semblance flaring up like a bonfire. Steel rose vines encircle his waist, shackling him to the throne. Another row of vines wraps around his throat tight as a vice, forcing his head upright. A rivulet of blood coursed down his neck, crusting on the front of his shirt. That is fucking cool though. He opened his eyes, staring directly at me. It isn't fear or confusion that strikes me at the look in his eyes, but a deep jolt of recognition. He holds my gaze for a heartbeat before breaking the connection between us, and the storm dies down. Struggling to revolve the dissonance between my revulsion and fascination, I keep silent as the waves of aura fade away. The world calms, the air settling from the magic that has just filled the room. There is no recollection tickling the back of my brain anymore, and no terrifying spectre on my parents' throne. Just an old man trembling on a chair that is far too big for his frail body. Outlaid with pain and confusion, the man doesn't look at me anymore, but through me, eyes seeing something that the rest of us can't reach. Aspin! She trots over to him, carefully pulling the vines away from his neck and wrist. Aspin doesn't say anything to indicate that it hurts. Limply, he allows her to put his coat back on and roll his sleeves down, helping him to stand up. I told you not to use the throne unless absolutely necessary! The man's voice is faint, hoarse. It was necessary. Turning his attention to me again, he manages to focus. A crooked smile makes his face handsome, almost. Genuine kindness shines through his eyes. Ruby Rose, the last time I saw you, you were but an infant swaddled into your mother's arms. Before he can say anything else, his eyes roll back into his skull and his knees give way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yang runs out to help catch him, helping Glinda set him gently on the floor. Who is this guy? This is Lord Ozpin, the man who has been trying to keep this kingdom safe and a very dear friend. Glinda takes his hand to inspect the wound of his wrist. And an absolutely fucking dumbass who has lost far too much blood. Glinda calls for a guard and hovers anxiously as they take him away. She speaks under her breath, not to me or to Yang, but to herself. Her fist clenched and unclenched, nail digging into her palms. She's dying right now. I told him one more session of the throne would be too much, but noticing us staring at her, she straightened her back. Ruby, it's time. We need to crown you right now, immediately. My heart sinks like a stone, blood pounding in my ears. Me? And that... I cast my gaze over the throne. Drops of blood still dot the armrest, sinister with intent. Thing? And now you see with your own eyes the price of being an usurper. Fear not, Rose. As the rightful heir, you don't reach the same danger that the throne poses for Ozpin. But if you don't sever his connection with the throne and establish yours... Taking my hand in a fierce grip, Yang pulls me away from the throne and from Glinda. Heat sparks up, flames coursing along the twitching muscle in her arms and back. No way! Ruby, come on, we're leaving. You are not getting on the death trap. We never should have even come here. I mean, I'm a little scared, but sometimes you just gotta pull your ovaries on the table and do the right thing, even if you really don't want to. Sliding my hand free from Yang's grip, I shake my head. No, Yang, I'm not afraid. This bar is the same one that my parents use. They never let me see, always locked the door. No fucking wonder, that was traumatized a child. But I remember the way it felt. The stillness in the air. A shiver rolls down my spine. Swallowing the lump in my throat, I try not to let my voice shake as I speak to Glinda. You said it won't hurt me like it hurt Ozpin, right? That's correct. Then let's do it. Though she tries to keep her tone even, a faint tinge of desperation claws through her walls, as Glinda explains how it will happen. It will only take a moment to attune yourself to the throne. There will be no pain, and you will not have to go to the lengths Ozpin does to use the throne's power. All you have to do is sit. Sweating straight through my crosses, I struggle to keep up my resolve. The urge to run away looms huge in my mind. And then I remember how Ozpin looked, a husk of a human being as he was carted away. If I can help him just by doing this, then I don't really have a choice, do I? Walking toward the throne with a tremor of on every steps, I ignore Yang's protest and try to sit. The vines sweep out immediately, lashing me to the throne. Pour a source through me. Ruined, medium rare, and unfiltered. So much. Too much. Vaguely, I can sense the wind speaking up, my own semblance amplified and expanded by the pores of the throne. Ruby! Yang's yells, her semblance firing up like an inferno. But just as quickly as the vine tastes my blood, they retreat back into the design of the chair, and I'm left with nothing but a few shallow cuts. Glinda lets out a huge breath of relief. My hands stop trembling, a calm overtaking me. Fucking stop messaging me! In the wake of that terrible, awesome pour, I am left curiously empty. The chair has accepted me as a rightful queen. Thank goodness, it worked. It must have been so fucking stressful for Glinda. The hard part is over. Now we just need to complete the formalities. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna stop here real quick and start another video because it takes fucking forever to upload them otherwise.